Trade small, trade often is one of the keys to successful options trading. And that's difficult to do because having lots of small positions in lots of loosely correlated underlyings is a big job because there's just thousands and thousands of different candidates to choose from, and it's extremely difficult, maybe impossible, to analyze all of them at any one time. And one way that we've approached that is that we have, well, this is our master watch list, but we have several different watch lists of liquid stocks and ETFs that we can copy and paste from here and plug them into our different watch list buttons on the top. And then we can use them in different ways. One thing we did was that we ran a scan of the stocks in our no earnings list here. There's probably about 90 of them in that list. But we've divided or subdivided stocks and ETFs into many different categories. And again, we can just plug and plop into our watch lists and analyze them so that we can hopefully accomplish our trade small, trade often goals. But what we did is that we ran a scan of the Trade Hunter of that no earnings list, liquid stocks and ETFs. And this is the result, the Trade Hunter result. And just to quickly go over this, we have the symbol in the left-hand column, and we analyze bullish or bearishness in 4 different time frames. The score is the technical score. And in Option Master Chartist, we analyze 4 different technical indicators from long-term to short-term and come up with a raw technical score. And negative numbers are bearish and positive numbers are bullish. And the last column here is the action column. And that's really the raw score or quantification of the state of the 3 indicators we have in the daily technicals. And the action scores can range from -9, which is hard down, to +9, which is hard up. So without really looking at a chart, we can go down our list and looking at the the score and the action, we can get some idea of what the current technical state or technical condition of that underlying is. For example, AMTD, which happens to be TD Ameritrade, has a technical score of -21, which is bearish, and an action score of -7. So just looking at the score and the action, I can see that this is a bearish stock, or a stock in a very bearish condition. And it's been hard down, but it's kind of backed off a little bit. The first column daily is the one that we use as our starting point for finding our candidates that we're going to look at for the day to determine if maybe we want to try and find a trade in them. And you can get just a dash, which means nothing spectacular is happening. A bear symbol means that it is overbought and is heading out of the overbought condition. So that might be a good candidate for a short side trade. And bull, to be exactly opposite, that would make it a possible candidate for a long side trade, and that it's been deeply oversold and is now getting in a position where it could move up. Let's go back to our AMTD example, and we can give you a more in-depth look at what that means. And we'll go to the AMTD trading chart, and it has a negative score of or a technical score of -21, which is bearish. The weekly trend is falling. This is the weekly chart on the lower right panel. You can see that's the case. And AMTD has fallen hard, but is not yet in a bullish position on the daily chart. The situation we want to see is that the stock is at the lower end of the trading range and that it is coming out of the deeply oversold zone. We don't care what happens while it's in the oversold zone. We only care when it leaves either the oversold zone or the overbought zone. And I don't want to spend too much time on the trading charts, but the whole purpose of the trading charts is to give you a good visual of the current state. And to do that, we use the background color. Tan is still in a bearish condition. The bluish background means the Hull moving average is heading up, which is a more bullish condition. And we have 4 different time frames: daily, hourly, 15-minute, and weekly. And the traffic lights, what we call the traffic lights, give you just a visual of the internals, the internal technicals of the stock. And usually what happens is that the traffic lights, the top light will change colors first. Then the Hull moving average or the background color will change, and then the bottom traffic light will change. And then you have a trend change clearly identified. But let's get back to our main window and the technical charts. But once the scan is complete, we get a list of overbought and oversold stocks from the list. And when you do hit the scan, it includes all the stocks and all the 3 watch lists. As it turns out, there are no oversold stocks, but there are a few overbought. So we'll click on the overbought button and we'll see what turns up. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 different stocks are in overbought condition. And these are the ones that we'd want to look at. EWW is one that we looked at this morning. And if we pull it down on the Trade Hunter list, where is EWW? The computer runs slow because the screen capture is fighting with everything else to try and gain some CPU time. We can see that EWW has a -7 technical score, which is bearish, but it has a +1 action, so that it is moved up off the bottom. And we can analyze a stock very quickly just from the front panel. And we look first at the daily chart, and we look at the center line on the daily chart and the cloud in the background. And that confirms visually that EWW has been in a bearish rotation for the last couple months or so. But it has moved up from the bottom of the trading zone to just above the midpoint. If we look to the technical panels, the daily technical panels on the right, we can see that the trend is down, and the daily technical panels are set up so that the 0 line gives you a good quick indication of which side of the trade you want to be on in the longer term. For bearish trades, you want to be on the short side. For for long side trades, you want your daily technical indicators to be north of the 0 line, and we can see that 2 out of the 3 are south of the 0 line, but heading up, and that's what gives it the +1 action score. So we can see that EWW is a candidate for a short side trade. It doesn't mean we have to make the decision from this screen, but this screen and the Trade Hunter gives us a way to analyze hundreds of stocks at one different time very quickly to see which candidates are looking the best for the day. And of the 8, EWW looks the best. We just looked at them very quickly. And there are a few that maybe you wouldn't want to particularly short. One would be, say, Procter & Gamble. which has a high technical score and is very bullish, but it's a bullish stock. The trend is well above the zero line, and it's still heading up. And the MACD momentum is also heading up. So in this situation, maybe this is one that you'd want to avoid on the short side, and maybe look at again and pick up if we ever show it in the oversold condition. But we're going to be looking at CCI, EWW, GLW, ITW, JNJ, NKE, PG, and SLB today for possible short side trades.